Good evening and welcome to Love Angels Light TV. Tonight we have Jake and Bianca from Phenomenance coming to talk to us about the tools of access consciousness. Hopefully you guys can say it better than I can. Welcome.
Well, hello, how are you?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So,
Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and about what you do?
So me and Jake are both, so my name's Bianca and that's Jake, and we're both access consciousness facilitators. We facilitate access bars and we also facilitate other classes on different topics. And we also do facilitations on other people as well to help them change their lives, to have more fun, more joy, more ease, and more possibilities show up for them. So that's what we do. And we've been doing access consciousness stuff for about 5 years now. And yeah, so Jake, if you want to talk about yourself.
well, the thing is about access consciousness, it transforms your life. That's what it's done for me. Before access, the thing is, I used to go to McDonald's and buy McDonald's meals for like $10, and if it went over $10, I was like, oh, freaking! I'm like, how can it be over $10? That I was all planned out to be under $10, and it's over $10. So that's how I used to live my life. And before access, yeah, that sucked for me. Been doing, like, who wants to think about that, And now with access, it's taken a lot. Like, it's not saying that this is snap your fingers. It's going to be like, oh, whoa, that's it. It takes work. It takes practice. Access consciousness offers you tools and questions that you can use in any day of your life to transform it in a way that is far beyond you can imagine. And that's what it's done for me. It's transformed my life. And now I can go out in restaurants and eat food that's, 30, 40, $50 and not having to think about that, it's that, Macca's $10 thing. So that's what it's done for me in a little example of what access consciousness has done for my life.
So how does access consciousness change your finances?
Well, they give you, they offer you questions and tools, and you can use those tools and questions to allow that to be unlocked for you. Without these tools and questions, you're kind of a no-hoper. You're kind of lost out in the sea. You got no paddle. You got no boat.
You lost your paddles.
The ships are all driving over you, or they've sunken, and you got nothing. So this is kind of getting. It gives you the tools so you can actually use that to get you out of that mess. Like, where like I was obsessing about going over $10. It gives you tools and questions that you don't have to get into that. Like, when you start thinking about stuff, that's when you get limited. Like, they have a saying in Access, if you're thinking, you're stinking. So what it does, it just allows you to go for a shower and smell good.
And also, like, it gives you the tools. So it's not saying that going to McDonald's is bad or anything. You can still choose to do, like, eat wherever you like. But it's also giving you the possibility that if you're just choosing to go to McDonald's because it's the price factor, then that can limit you, rather than, and with the tools of access, it can actually contribute for you to actually make more money, to actually do, like, say if you wanted to eat at a more fancier restaurant, you wouldn't have to worry about the points of view that brings up. So it gives you tools to be able to, like, deal with that differently.
We'll give them a little tool from Access. So what we can say is, how does it get any better than this? So you can say that for anything that good happens or anything bad happens. You say, how does it get any better than this? And what that does, that changes the energy. It changes the energy of the situation. So if you have an energy where you can, like, contracted, you feel like you can't go anywhere, say, in that instance, say, how does it get any better than this? And what that's going to do, that's going to transform the energy. It's going to bring a new possibility into your world. So when, just say you're thinking about going to Macca's, just say, how does it get any better than this? and then you might be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to what that Jake guy said or that Bianca on that show. All right, I'm gonna go to a restaurant. I'm gonna buy an entree. You know, you can still get an entree for 12, 13, 14, 15 bucks, and then maybe get a coffee and get the fuck out of there. But you know what I mean? So try that. How does it get any better than that? And you know, that's what the founder of Access. That's what he said. Get that. Go in a restaurant, get an entree instead of paying for the same amount. You can go to Macca's. So give that a go and see what happens there. So you can use that for anything that bad happens or good happens. So just say something bad happened in your relationship. You can just quickly say, how does it get any better than this, and see how that works for you.
Or even if you're thinking that you can't afford to go to say if you're used to not having to go to restaurants, say if you just the thought of going to a restaurant where the entree is $15 or $20 where you can go to Macca's and get a whole meal, maybe you can just say, how does it get any better than that as well, to change the energy of that kind of that's bringing up as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, because any time we're stuck in like there's a stuckness that keeps coming up, and it does keep coming up. It's not like, oh, it's coming this time. So the thing is, we're doing the same thing but expecting a different result, as Albert Einstein referenced, you know. So we keep doing the same thing, and it just doesn't change. So this is doing something different. So yeah, give it a go. If it's all your choice. It works for me. It works for me far beyond I can imagine. So I can't see why not it can't work for you.
Yeah, exactly. Lozzie says, shake it up and embrace something different will always change the energy. And I feel like the problem wasn't Macca's. The problem was the mindset around the $10, the mindset around the money, the mindset of I've only got $10, a $10 budget on this meal. I can't go to a restaurant. So $10 at Macca's it is.
Exactly.
I would starve.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. But then the entree, you know, you can have the entree as well. So
yeah.
So if you can't afford like the main meal or this and that, just go in. Like it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Like, you know, when you're in the restaurant, they're expecting you to have like 3-course meal and this and that. But you know what? Go in there. It's going to be uncomfortable. Allow that uncomfortable. You know, if I stopped at when it was too uncomfortable, that's where my life wouldn't be where it is now. So I moved. I went past that, beyond that uncomfortableness. So it is going to be uncomfortable, though. Play with it. You know, play with this new energy. That's going to be a possibility for you.
Definitely.
With money as well. When you're doing something that's different, or like say if you did get that entree for $10, that's going to start inviting you, because you're going to want to have the main meal and the dessert and the cocktail or the champagne with the meal. So it's going to actually invite you to start creating more money in your life when you actually start to enjoy spending the money there. So it's actually inviting more money to show up than actually thinking I'm going to save money if I get something cheaper.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we don't invite, like, you got, guys and girls, we've got to, you know, you don't, money doesn't get invited by going for the cheap stuff, you know. And we all think like we have to get the stuff on sale, you know, sale. Like this whole reality is based around sale, you know, and
it doesn't mean we have to get the most expensive either.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting what's going to work for you. So there's actually a tool.
That's another tool we
you could use. So whenever you actually purchase something, because in a sense, like your body is the one that actually requires to like eat, buy clothes. It requires the money to live. So you can actually ask your body. You can ask your body, if I purchase this, is it going to make me money? And you can use that for anything. You can use that like just for buying more clothes. Like you can ask the clothes before you, but if I purchase you, are you going to make me money? Even if it's underwear and stuff, because you know what, when you wear it, you might feel really comfortable, and it might actually make you more confident in what you do, and so it's going to make you more money in that sense. So anything you do, like food, like even when you go to the grocery shopping, ask, if I buy this tea, is it going to make me money? If it says no, maybe you have to buy another brand. So You know, it doesn't mean you have to change the tea flavor, but it could be that brand's not going to make you money, but if you bought the other brands, it might. So you got to ask like those questions, and see what shows up for you.
And remember, it's not going to be like
Sorry.
I was going to say, it's amazing the difference between buying something that's on special because it's on special and you can afford it, comparing that to buying something that actually makes you feel beautiful and, you know, sexy. And it's the difference in that, because you can still find that second option in a budget that you can afford, but we don't often look for that, and it's all up here.
Exactly. And sometimes, like, say if you're asking if this is going to make me money, sometimes you might even get it at a really good price anyhow. So it's not saying that you can't buy sale and stuff. It's just saying that when you ask a question, like say if you're looking for a new dress, you can actually ask your body, what dress can I buy that's going to look beautiful on my body, make me feel good, make me more happy, going to make me more money. And you'll get drawn to go to a certain shop, and it's going to look at that, and you can ask, if I buy, you're going to make me more money. And if it says yes, you can be like, okay, let's try it on. And it might be that it is on sale. It's not saying that you have to buy full price as well, but it invites, like, and your body knows. So if you've got a smaller budget, it's probably not going to take you to a store where you can't afford that dress that it wants, that like straight away. It's probably going to take you somewhere where maybe it is a higher end brand or something, but maybe it's slashed to like 70% off and you can actually afford it now. So it just opens up possibilities like that to show up.
Yeah. I remember by asking this, if I buy this, will you make me money? You can't have expectations of it working instantaneously.
No, that's right.
Because this is a new tool. It's something different. It's going to take some practice, you know, as I'm a guitarist, I know practice takes, you know, the more practice you put in, the greater you're going to be. So it's not saying that you're going to use it once and you're like, oh, that didn't work. Yeah. Well, it depends how quickly do you want to, you know, quit on your life. So if you like to start choosing something that's going to actually contribute to your life becoming more and more greater, you start using these tools of access consciousness. And yeah, the practice, it's going to be like your whole world's just going to be like something way beyond you can ever imagine. So these simple tools can go a long way.
That's exactly right. I'm just taking notes because why not? I actually have 2 pens because I'm special.
That's okay.
Never can have enough of pens. You always seem to have 1,000 pens, but you never can find one. So there's never enough pens.
All through my house because I literally started doing art today. I've had an on-off again relationship with art, but you know, I've got pens all through the house because on the phone today with various people just doodling, and then I went, oh, I can turn that into a picture. All right, let's have a look. We've got some other comments here. I think when life is uncomfortable, get creative, cook at home with imagination. We sit on the canal eating very dry scones, but the jam is delicious.
I
love it.
As well, like when you're actually more joyful and happy in your life, you do things that are fun for you. That also invites a lot more money and wealth into your life too. You know, it's kind of like if you look at it, if money was a party, would it come into your life right now?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
And actually talking on the subject, we're talking about money, so we just, whatever goes. There's another thing you can actually do. You can actually say to yourself, can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please?
Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please?
So if you just
almost like a mantra.
Kinda, like if you said it like 10 times in the morning, maybe 10 times at lunch, 10 times in the evening, or anytime you think, like anytime it pops in your head, that actually can start contributing to as well to allow more money to show.
Oh, we can't tell them that. That's they'll get
too.
They might get too rich.
They might.
I know. Did we say that out loud?
Or? Man. My kids like to eat all the time.
then don't do that tool.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It'll be too good for you.
You might have too much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You know what,
but yeah,
though?
yeah.
This is one of the comments here. That was how our kids were, right? My son, master manifester. He actually came home from school with an ushi and said, Mum, my teacher gave me this ushi. I've gone, why? Because I don't have it yet and I wanted it. And I asked and she gave it to me. I'm like, dude, seriously? I could learn how to manifest from my 5-year-old.
Well, that's how easy it is. So, like, kids have no point of view. They haven't got points of view yet. And so
No,
for them, if they desire something, they know how to get it no matter what. So if you desire more money in your life, so say if you have kids, if your kids are asking you for certain things, actually ask them a question and be like, okay, if you would like me to purchase that for you, you have to make me more money, make us more money, and then I can buy that for you. So instead of saying to the kid, saying, no, we can't get that, just saying, cool, I can't get it right now, but what if, could you do for us to get this quicker? And they'll actually contribute to get that, whatever it is, really quick. Yeah. It's our points of view that get in the way of us having limitations.
This is
true. Can I talk about a little bit about what she means about manifest?
Yes.
The thing is about manifesting, it's about how things show up. Yeah. It's not that it shows up. So that's kind of a bit of a pickle, that one. So it's not how it's how it shows up. It's not that it shows up. What manifests, the true meaning of it is. So you're gonna have to be like, you kind of have to actualize. Like, what would it take for this to actualize instead of manifest? Because manifest is how it shows up. It's not that it's going to show up for you. So what would change it is a big game changer. That's only if you choose to. That is what would it take for this to actualize?
Yeah.
What would this take to actualize? Because manifesting, yeah, the definitions have it's not what we think it is.
Yeah, I think it's used a lot, and I use the term manifest a lot because people understand what it is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but the thing is, like, even the essential oil deck that I use, peppermint, the oil of abundance, talks about making a wish. And it grates on me every time because it's not about the wish. It's not about, like, even then you don't focus on the how. You do make the wish. You have that dream, but you need an action plan. The law of attraction works on the action plan as well as the thing that you want. You putting it out there, but actualizing it is part and parcel. You can't just sit back and go, yeah, I want this.
Wait, and then later. What the tools of access tell you is you ask the question. So say if you desire to have more money in your life, you could actually ask, what could I do today? What could I be or do today to create more money in my life? So it's not saying like you ask a question and money's just gonna flock, you're just gonna start chucking money at you. You know what? It could happen, but you got to have literally no points of view and expectations of that showing up. So like it just means that you might get an awareness to go to the shops, and then if you go to the shops you might bump into someone and they want to book in a session with you, or they want to employ you to do something. So it's kind of like it gives, when you ask the question, it opens up doors so that you can actually start creating more money somewhere. It could be that if you ask a question, how can more money show up in my life, you might have like a relative you've never met that just passed away and you inherit all this money from them, or you might meet someone that just wants to give you money. Anything can happen. So it just allows that receiving to start occur that wasn't there before.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Do you have any other questions?
Let's have a look here. So Nita says, when I need a special outfit, I put it out there. For one that would make me feel special and doesn't cost the world, and then I'm pulled to a certain shop and there it is on a special and suits me to a T.
Well, exactly.
I need to do that.
Yeah. Well, with the tools, see, the tools that we're giving you, this isn't kind of new to, like when you start getting the tools and stuff and using them, the stuff that comes up, we've already do this already. It's just kind of making it more aware of how to create more of that.
And you have to acknowledge it. Like, acknowledgement is massive for us. Like,
yeah, we like to judge ourselves a lot.
When that, what was her name? Just the one that said that comment.
Lozzie or Nita? This one?
Oh, Nita, yeah.
Was it
like
Nita?
when things like that happen for you, just say, I acknowledge that happened. Now, how does it get any better than that? And then what else is possible? Like when you have to acknowledge it. Like if you don't acknowledge it, you're just going to hold on to that. You're going to hold on to that, and there's not going to be any more for your future.
That's right.
So the thing with this, that's what's so phenomenal is about with Access Consciousness. It gives you these tools to figure out what is really going on, you know. So that's why it's always like a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
And it's because, you know, people have no expectations. It's like, oh, this is it. And then they try to create again, but they can't. They don't seem to know what to do. It's because they actually didn't acknowledge what they did create. So when you create something phenomenal, you gotta acknowledge it. And then if you don't acknowledge it, you have to go back and recreate it. So what we're doing, we're just doing this. So the easy way out of that is just acknowledge it, and then you can start moving forward.
Yep.
And all you have to do is say, I acknowledge that I've got this awesome dress that fit in my body beautifully, and how does it get any better than that? How can more of this show up in the future?
That's right.
And then if you just leave it like that, then you don't have to like think about it. So, you know, it just shows up for you.
Yeah, the more we hold on to the past, the past is a limitation.
Absolutely.
We're going to create for the present and for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Present and for the future. So if we're holding on to the past, you know, like I see a lot of people's stories out there, they're always wanting to hold on to the past and talk about their past, and that was their best days, you know. You know, your best days can be today, you know, and create for your future.
For sure.
So acknowledge what you've done, and that'll contribute for your future.
Definitely.
And even if you have done things that maybe haven't worked out, you can even acknowledge that, okay, I tried this didn't work. I acknowledge that didn't work. And just like, okay, I can choose something different now. So it's not about making yourself wrong for choosing something that maybe didn't work out how you thought it would. It's just about what else can I choose that's going to create more for me.
If you look at history, how many inventors and whatever failed. Did they ever stop? Not really, not until they got failed after. So why do we keep going, oh, I'm a failure. No, I'm done here. If I did that, you guys wouldn't be on my show today.
Well, exactly. So, and that's the thing. Most people out there that are, you know, quite successful or making, you know, very wealthy now, they failed a million times. Like people look at like Richard Branson, for instance, they see how successful he is, but they don't actually see how long did it take for him to get there. What did he have to do to be that successful? They just say, oh, he's successful, he's awesome. Yeah. But they don't see the behind stuff that will happen.
Exactly.
So, and people are going to tell you that. It's not going to be like fairy tales and lollipops where, you know, if you do these new things, that people aren't going to tell you, oh, that's crap to do that, or you shouldn't do that, give up, it's not working out. You know, that's going to happen all the time. But if you keep going, like you said, you kept going and you have this show on and, you know, and then things can show up more and you create more and more and more things start happening.
Exactly. There's persistence. All right. So say someone comes up and they're going, okay, this is not a random topic at all. Body image. What do we do access consciousness wise for body image? Because I know, having carried giant babies with giant amounts of fluid, that my body's not like it was once before. And it's only been recently where I've started actually loving whatever this is. So what do we do if someone comes to you and goes,
well,
my
number one thing is your point of view. So your point of view creates your reality.
yes.
So any point of view you have about your body, you actually create. So if you look in the mirror and you say, oh, I'm looking fat today, guess what? You're going to create more of that.
That's right.
If you say, I'm not looking good today, guess what? That's what you're going to create. So
were you in my head this morning?
Pardon?
Were you in my head this morning?
I could be. That's another thing as well. 99% of all of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions do not belong to us.
That's right.
So we're like radio beacons. We actually hear everyone. Everyone communicates telepathically. That's actually like our first, like energy is your first language, and speaking is actually like our second language, even though we use that to communicate. So we're actually picking up what people think all the time. So how many people actually enjoy their body? Like how many people actually wake up in the morning and be like, yay, I love my body. I'm so happy that my body is the way it is, and I just love it so much. Even the people that are super skinny and go to the gym and work out 2-3 hours a day, even they do not like their bodies. So everyone is judging their body. So my number one tool for you, if you would like to change your body, is number one, stop judging it.
And the way you can get around that is that interesting point of view. So when you wake up in the morning, easy, get up, look in the mirror, and you can say this several times. You don't have to say it just once. Say it as many times as you like. Look in the mirror and just say, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. And keep going with that and see what that's going to show up for you. And that's going to start unlocking you having to make yourself wrong for the way you look. You know, that it's kind of a tool to get your mind out of the way. You know, your mind is a dangerous thing. Waste it, they say in Access. So avoid the gym. No, it's not about avoiding the gym. It's
I'm
about.
With her.
Well, the thing with the gym, I'm gonna like. I don't know because I've been in so many gyms, and you always start off like, yes, I'm gonna go to the gym. You join up with your friends. You probably go like twice, and then after that you forget it, and you're stuck in this membership for how many years you have to be in it. So the thing with gyms, like I said, because we pick up everyone's thoughts, feelings, emotions. The reason why people don't actually like going to gyms is because it's like you're exponentializing the judgments, because there's mirrors everywhere. Everyone's judging themselves. The guys, the girls, they're all judging themselves, whether they have enough muscle, they have too much fat, even though it may not be. The bigger girls are judging themselves because there's skinny girls in there. Like there's all things happening, and you're picking up all that stuff. We're really aware. So that's why you don't actually want to go to the gym. And the best way to actually reduce weight, if you do want to do exercise, is do something that's going to be fun for your body. So you can actually ask your body what, and maybe don't use the word exercise, maybe use the word movement. You can say, body, what movement would you like to do today? And it might say it just wants to go for a walk around the block. It might say it wants to go for a run. You may never have run before, but because your body said it wanted to run today, you might actually love running for that one day that you asked your body. So you might just say, I want to dance. Go in your living room, crank the music up, and just do some moves.
Yeah.
What's this one? What did he say?
I'm allergic to exercise. I break out in a sweat and everything goes bright red. Get breathless.
Well, the thing is, go slow, man. Go slow. Okay.
It's not about you don't have to do cardio. It's about getting movement into your day.
Exactly.
Like,
look,
I get
start off slow. Start off slow and finish harder. So
that's right.
Don't get in there thinking that you have to be Usain Bolt speed instantaneously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start off slow and do what's going to be fun for you. Like what got me in shape was I like to play soccer. You know, like a couple of years ago, I just started playing soccer, and you know, people think like he's always had like a slim body, this and that, but I still had kind of a bit of a gut. And when I started playing soccer, I started getting like a six pack, like just like that. Like it didn't really take much because I was actually I wasn't doing the exercise to get my body, to get my six pack. Okay, I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it because I enjoyed it. People do exercise for a result, and when you do exercise for a result, it's not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna have to do exercise to enjoy it. So choose something that's gonna be fun for you. Like if you like swimming, do swimming.
Yes.
If you like tennis, play some tennis. Though, yeah, you got to figure out something that's going to work for you. Like if you don't like running inside the gyms, go through the forest.
Yes.
And if it's too boring for you to go like on the track, go off track. Go off track, and do things to make it exciting. Running through the bush.
Definitely.
If it's a bush and it's completely no one there, run through there naked or do something that's gonna lift your spirits, So
Yeah, right.
ask what's gonna ask body, what's gonna contribute to you actually looking what you actually is gonna be fun for you to be, like what's gonna contribute.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of exercise is the gym gonna work? Yes or no? Most of the times it's going to be a no, but then again, it can be a yes. So remember, don't judge yourself what you choose. So it's not saying stick to the gym and stick to the gym. Mix it up. You're doing gym today, then tomorrow you're doing a forest walk, and then next day you're doing a swim. Then next day you go to the beach, you're running up and down the beach. Mix it up. Anytime you want to get into that routine, that's where you stop yourself.
That's
where
right.
you go into the judgment as well, because when you get in a routine and you stop doing it, that's when you judge yourself for not actually pursuing it and kept going with it. So that's where you stuff yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly right.
Also, Kate just said about dancing. Dance, that's fine. Yeah, go for it. Do what's gonna bring that enjoyment to your body. Don't get stuck right. That you have to do routines. The routines don't work,
And doing dancing.
Not unless you're enjoying the routine. Well. What was that?
And doing dancing, that can give you abs. Doing dancing can be a pretty intense workout. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lozzie says you do look like you use a guitar.
Huh?
Yeah, he is a guitarist.
Lozzie.
She said you look like you use a guitar.
I got another 5. I think you can only see one there. I got another 5 on the side.
Is that all?
Hold on.
They're pretty. I learned guitar when I was a teenager, and it didn't go well. I'm great with one chord. Fantastic with one. It's the changing chords.
It takes a lot of courage. Takes a lot of persistence. Like you gotta keep going.
Yeah.
They have a thing in Access as well. Never give in, never quit, never stop.
Yeah.
But the guitar, it didn't work for you. You know what I mean? Everything. You know what I mean?
No,
so
I played flute, and flute was always my go-to. And now my boys both have a little ukulele, so we're kind of playing with ukuleles regularly, which is interesting. YouTube videos for the win.
Well, whatever works for you, you know what I mean? So, like, I can play some drums, I can play a bit of piano, but I don't, I play it for the fun. I don't play it for, like, getting into this and that, make song. I'm just, like, mucking around on it, Mm-hmm. And people say to me, oh, what are you playing the piano? What are you playing drums for? You don't sound good. I'm like, I don't care. I'm playing anyway. Like, it's right. Do whatever's gonna make it more fun for you. You don't have to stick to it. It doesn't matter if you start playing something, you have to stay on that forever. You just on it for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, or whatever. Have a bit of fun.
But music's good for the brain. It's good for you to kind of get grounded and to release the negativity of the day. It's fabulous. I like music.
Well, it can calm you down where it gets you out of your head sometimes, you can want to chill out and do something.
Stops you thinking.
Yeah. And that's a key, like when you're thinking, you are thinking.
The thing is,
So
with
whatever you
any
can do.
art and with music and with even with cooking, you know, anything where you're creating something, it takes you out of the situation that you're in with all your stress or your anxiety or your problems, and it gives your brain a chance to just chill. And then half the time when you come back to that problem, you go, oh, what was I worried about?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we can give them the how does it. There's another tool that you can do. Like before, how I said that 99% of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions don't actually belong to you. So like,
Yeah.
you know, when like one day you wake up, you're so happy and you go somewhere and then you just get sad instant, but nothing's actually happened for you to be sad, like
Yeah.
to you personally. It's because you're picking up someone else's sadness around you. So what you can actually do when that happens, or it can be anything, like if you're thinking too much, you can actually say this tool, who does this belong to? And you just go return to sender with consciousness attached.
So who does this
Nice.
belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached.
That
And,
way it just clears that you don't have to hold on to someone else's thoughts.
and don't think about it too much. Like if you're thinking about this, oh, how's this work? Trying to get like understand it and this and that's where you kind of fuck it. Oh, sorry. But yeah, that's how you stuff it around. So just it's different. It's way different. So it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Though, you know, if you're enjoying your life, what it's been in the past, do what you've been doing. But if you do desire a new path, something different, do these access consciousness tools, and it's gonna change it up for you.
That's right.
So what was the tool again?
How does it? Who does this belong to? And return to sender with consciousness attached. They say because obviously we have so many thoughts and feelings and emotions we pick up from other people. They say that if you actually do that for 3 days straight, then you actually start to get a sense of who you actually are.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So if you're willing to do the challenge, there's actually Access Consciousness actually have created an app called Who Does This Belong To? You can download it for free in the App Store. And it actually gives you reminders. So you get reminders saying who does this belong to? So you can actually remind yourself to do the who does this belong to?
I've done it. It's cool. Like it might be a little bit frustrating at this. We're like, it keeps buzzing you, but you know what? Every time it buzzes you, if you actually like, okay, I'm gonna do it, your life gets greater every single time. And I mean it. Yeah. Your life gets greater every single time you say it. Because anytime you get out of your thinking, that's where your life becomes greater. Every time you think more, your life just starts going, yeah.
And that's when like you start to choose more for you. So you start to like with your body, you start to choose to do things that are going to be fun rather than going to do the things that other people are doing. You start to eat food that's going to be fun for you. You know, what if you're eating for someone else? What if you're eating what your neighbor likes to eat? Maybe that's why your body's not looking how it's meant to be looking. So yeah, this tool can really start to help you to start to know who you actually are.
Said, the name of the app?
Yes. It's Access Consciousness. If you type up Access Consciousness, or it should have an app and it's called Who Does It Belong To?
Who does this belong to?
Yeah. All right. And Lozzie says, where is it? Jake, you can be my son.
All right, where do you live? I'll be over.
I'd be asking a few more questions first.
About
is
the thing with access.
I think you're about to be adopted. That's all, you know. Is this one too?
Well, that's the thing about access. What's this one?
Yeah.
Very confusing. Well, I'm willing to do.
So
it happened to her this morning. She woke up feeling awesome and ended the day feeling like garbage. So yes.
Well, use this tool and see what happens. And
that's
see
right.
But you got to use it constantly. Don't just say it once and expect it to change it straight away. Like, say if you're starting to feel really crap after you were feeling really good, just keep saying, who does this belong to? 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 Who does this belong to?
And you can also You can also say there's a clearing statement of access. And if you guys like to, there's a video. One of the founders of Access, he does a video.
Yep.
So you can just go clearingstatement.com.
Okay.
You can see videos on that. And I'll give you the short part of the clearing statement, a bit of a sneak peek. What you can do. So when you do, when it does come up that there's a point of view, there's something in your head that you can't get out. So you go, who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. And if it keeps coming back, that same thought, if that keeps coming back, you can say pock and pod. Pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod.
So POC, POC.
Yes.
So if you watch the clearingstatement.com, Dr. Dane He, the co-founder of Access Consciousness, actually explains, like, there's a whole clearing statement, and that's part of it. It explains what those words can actually do to change things, like changes the energy.
Awesome.
So yeah, briefly, it's about brings it up from when that thought got first created until now, the point of destruction. So you can just say pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod, pock and pod, and that's going to change the energy for you dynamically.
Awesome. That's awesome. Dika, yes. Does this mean if you're an empath, it helps? Yes.
Oh, of course. Oh, yes, yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
No, don't use it. No.
Don't.
And most of us are. Like, I remember for me, like, Mind, Body, Spirit, I used to go to Mind, Body, Spirit with my mum when I was younger. And, like, after being there, after, like, half an hour, I would, like, be collapsed. Like, I would be, like, fainting, and, like, my mum would have to carry me out of there. And now that I use these tools, who does this belong to? Interesting point of view. How does it get any better than that? I don't actually get affected by people the way I used to before. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, if you are an empath, 100%, this is going to contribute so much to your life.
And again, with these tools, like, not saying like, oh, that Jake guy, he's always clear, this and that, and it's not about that. It's things do still come to me, though I just clear them quicker. Like
that's
back
right.
in the past, they'll it's not about, this is not like you're going to do the tools and you're going to be a walking, talking meditation now and for eternity. It's not about that. The things still come to me. I just clear it quicker. Some things I take 10 seconds to clear, sometimes 10 minutes, an hour. But before Access, it took me days, it took me weeks, it took me years holding on to this crap that we hold on to, guys, you know? And these tools, it just allows you to clear it quicker. It's not saying that you're going to be, you know, it's going to be fantasy, rub the genie lamp and all the wishes are going to come true. They're going to still come to you. Yeah. You're going to clear it quicker, and you're not going to think about that obsessing. You're going to get that obsession out of the way.
And the more you use these tools, like in the beginning, it might be tough. You know, things are going to show up, and it might be a bit harder for you. But the more you use these tools, it is going to contribute to being easier. Like you said, it took forever to clear something, and then now he does it in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So it can happen really quickly.
It's awesome.
If you use the tools.
Yes. So Lozzie lives in Pottsville, by the way.
All right, I'll get the Uber driver.
Mike says ducks back. I think he's on your same wavelength. What's your number one go-to tool for Access Consciousness?
What's
number one? I think my one's interesting point of view. I have this point of view, so that's one of my because you have a lot of points of view about anything.
I think mine is their mantra. The mantra of Access Consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory.
That's awesome.
And yeah, if you desire to have a bit of that, start choosing it.
Well, that's right. The reason we don't have things is because we settle. I was actually I listen to things I don't necessarily read anymore because kids. And with my hearing aids, I can be listening to something while they're watching kids' programs. It's great. And my favorite statement for the last 6 or 8 months has been, it is what it is. And the stuff I was learning today was all about, it is what it is still a victim statement. It is what you accept it to be. And I went, oh my God, okay, that's true.
Well, it's kind of like like I said, but like your point of view creates your reality. So whatever your points of view are, that's what's creating your reality. So
Exactly.
like I said, if that's it, then you're creating that.
That's right. So you've got to kind of be aware of where your head's at.
Exactly. And that's what these tools do. They can get you out of your mind. And most of the time, like guys and girls, we're kind of like, we're entrained. So even though your mind's thinking, like I think we think like over 1 million thoughts in like a few minutes or something. It's crazy. And like, so you're not even aware of half the things you're thinking about, but that's what's actually creating your life.
So the more you do access consciousness, the more and more you actually start being you.
Yes.
You actually start knowing who you are. It took me a while to know who I was, though.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is. It is. And it's part of the awakening process. I think it's part of that journey that we all at some point go on, some of us sooner than others, because you guys are really young.
But it's never too late. Like, it's never too late. Like, you can change anything in your life.
Well, the founder of Access, Gary Douglas. He started when he was probably, I think, maybe 50, and now he's in his. He doesn't want to say his age, but I reckon he's around 80. But yeah, look at that. And then his company's in 179 countries worldwide, and he makes the highest. He's there.
Like they're a multi-million-dollar company, Access Consciousness now.
But every year the percentage rate to their business is like beyond all businesses.
Yeah. And he started at 40, I think 45. I think he started Access Consciousness.
Yeah.
So it's never too late to
It's
start.
never too late. It's about getting yourself to where you're meant to be anyway, which is one of the reasons I like having people like you guys on, and then mixing it up with, readings or different healing modalities and all of that stuff, because people need to know what's available to them, because what's right for one is not right for another. You've got to find what works for you.
Exactly.
And while this will work for anyone, not everyone's drawn to it.
True. And not everyone will, because it's not easy either. Like doing, we might look like we're happy and everything, but you don't know how much we've had to do to get to that.
That's right.
And it depends on people as well. Like some people, they kind of like their life, even though they complain about it. They still enjoy it too much to let it go. So yeah, but if you're willing for something different, if you're looking for more happiness, more joy, more money, a body that you love, then
that's right.
Yeah, I definitely invite you to even try it. Like try it for, the worst case thing is like if you tried it for a month and just see if your life changed. Give yourself a month and see what happens.
Exactly. And even if you do need to download that app and have those reminders coming in, that reminder for who does this belong to, you can also do the other ones at the same time, or you'll have that reminder to do. So do it. What can it hurt? It'll take 5 minutes of your day.
Like, your whole life could change by doing these tools.
That's right.
Very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Vicky, it's going to be available afterwards anyway from the start, Vicky, just so you know, because it's live now. Just come back when we're finished, if you've got time, or tomorrow, and watch it from the start, because it's cool. I like head stuff. All right, so from my notes, we've got how does it get any better than this?
Yeah.
Ask your body if whatever you're doing is going to make you money. Can I have the money now, please? I don't know how many fingers I'm up to. Can I have the money now, please? Then I have this point of view, interesting point of view. And then who does this belong to? Return to center with consciousness attached. And the app. That's what I've got so far. You got 10 minutes.
You got 10 minutes. Does anyone else have questions? They want to know anything else?
All right, guys. Any questions?
Yeah, anything that's coming up for you today? Anyone in the chat?
What do you want to know from them? I think it's been really good. Sky, I haven't seen you on here in ages. Welcome back. Hi, Sky. We missed you. Whoops. I just tried to tap on someone else now. Energy really does affect you. It does. It does.
Oh, not really.
It can be a contribution. So we brought that energies, like there's good energy, there's bad energy, there's nice energy, there's soft energy, there's heavy energy. But all it is basically, it's like the wind. It's like when you see a storm. You know, when there's a thunderstorm, there's that intense energy with the lightning and thunder. And then there's like that soft breeze and like energy. It's kind of just different, but it doesn't mean that you can't create in a thunderstorm and you can't use the energy of the thunderstorm. You know, it doesn't have to always be the soft energy for it to be nice.
When you start recognizing that everything in life is energy, it starts to affect you less because you can choose which energy kind of, you know, you embrace which energy. All right, Kate would like to know, how did you guys come across this? Parathought is amazing.
Well, through a friend about over 5 years ago. She did the first class of Access is the Access bars. That's where you lay down. It's like a body process. And that's where we came across it. A friend knew about it. She told us about it. And she was telling us about Access. And as soon as I heard that, I jumped online. I Googled what it was. I watched videos. And I just kept watching videos and videos and videos and videos. And I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And my sister and my family members saw how much I was changing. And they're like, oh, I like what he's doing. You know, so this Access, it doesn't work by you having to tell family members this and that. It's not going to work that way. The way this is going to work is by them seeing you, how you change.
That's right.
Like, that's how when people see me, they're like, whoa, what's that guy doing? You know, I get that all the time. So it's not about me having to go up to them and say, oh, look, I do this thing called Access, this, whatever. They're like, I want to get away from you.
Yeah.
You've got to be the invitation. Like, this is what I'm doing. If you don't like it, see you later. But there's going to be someone around the corner that's going to be like, oh, I like what he's doing. I'm going to ask him. And so they come up to you and say, what's your deal? Oh, I do this.
Yeah.
So it's about being something different. So that's what this Access is about. And yeah, when I first heard it, I just kept going, and I do it all the time. Like the amount I use the tools, it just gets greater and greater. It's not about, oh, I'm on page 50 now, and when I get to page 100, that's it. No, it's a book of a godzillion pages, so it just keeps getting greater and greater and greater.
And Jake also does a lot of online classes at the moment. They're called GOC Online Zooms. And he talks about a certain topic for about an hour, a bit over an hour. So you guys can, if you go to guitarofconsciousness.com, you can actually see what classes he has available. And he talks about any topic. Kind of similar to this, we talk about different topics. And then we kind of do actually, like, he'll talk about clearings and questions that you can actually use for yourself personally and about that topic as well.
Perfect.
And I'll just quickly talk about, like, the Guitar of Consciousness, what it is. It's combining, like, I've been playing guitar for almost 20 years now. So it's combining my original guitar melodies with the tools and questions of Access Consciousness. And I've got a YouTube series. It's called the Guitar of Consciousness. So you can just put up on Google in the YouTube search, it will come up. And I do my original pieces of guitar, and I talk about questions of Access. So if you'd like to know a little bit more questions, like to reinforce what we came across today, when you listen to the video, I'll bring that up again, and you'll be like, oh, I've listened to that a second time. And that's what's contributing to me being where I am today. It's because I just kept watching more and more videos, and it just reinforced it. Like, who does this belong to? I saw that, and I saw the next video, and then I saw the next video. When I first heard about it, I wasn't doing it. I keep listening to like 10 videos, and over the 10 video, then I'm like, oh, I remember that now. I remember to use that. So that's what my series is about. I do a new video once a month for that Guitar of Consciousness, and my other series of the GOC online Zooms. I do them a bunch every couple of months. And yeah, go on my website and have a look.
Perfect.
And also, this we're probably nearly finished, but I was quickly. If you
cool.
So Access Bars is part of Access Consciousness. It's a body process. For this month is Suicide Awareness Month. So on this Saturday, I'm actually offering free bar sessions to anyone that would like to book in a session. You're more than welcome to try the Access Bars. Anyone here? We're in Western Sydney. So if you are interested, just give me a contact me, and I can book you in if you want to try it.
I'm booked in. I'm getting a session. It's too awesome.
What time are the sessions running from?
I'm running them from 8 to about 7 or 8 in the evening on Saturday. So I'm running them all day. So I've got a few people booked in already, but I've still got a few openings up. So you can book in. It's an hour session, so I'll give you a full session.
Oh, wow. That's incredibly generous of you.
I think I might need to book in a couple sessions.
You live
Don't come so I can get extra. Don't come, guys and girls, so I'll get an all-day session.
Like an all-day session.
No, I was looking at my schedule for Saturday. I went, I work 10 till 3, and then I don't know if I've got a session after that. So,
When you've got time, yeah. I'm working till late in the evening, so let me know.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Or anyone else.
That's amazing. Natalie wanted to know, what do you think about the increasing amounts of anxiety in people?
Well, like I said before, with the 99% of our thoughts, feelings, emotions are not ours. So can you imagine right now what's going on around the whole world? It's not just, usually there's devastation. It's usually one country, and you actually feel that when something happens. Now we're talking about the whole world, the whole planet is going into like whatever's going on with their restrictions. Can they do this? Should I go close to people? So you're picking up the whole world now. So just imagine how much that's intensified. So who does this belong to? Interesting point of view. So every time anxiety comes up for you, you can actually say, who does this belong to? Return to center of consciousness attached. And just keep saying it until the anxiety eases away.
Yeah.
And Access Bars, if you're willing to try that as well, that actually helps with anxiety quite a lot.
Yeah.
As well.
Yes. What was I about to say to you? No, it's gone. Gone. It's magic. It was a magic thought. That's annoying because it was a question that was going to be really interesting.
What else is possible?
Lozzie wants to know, when you play guitar, do you feel connected to a higher source?
It's not so much a higher source. It's so much that you connect with, like, it brings me joy playing the guitar.
Yes.
So when I play the guitar, when I first started, I was playing for like others. Like I'll make a guitar piece up and like run into someone, my family members. Oh, what do you think of that? This and that. So that I'm always going outside for that kind of enjoyment, with the guitar. But now, what I do, I just play to enjoy. And when I do that, that is kind of like I connect with pretty much not just the guitar, but everything around. So, yeah. Yeah.
He's doing it for him as well. Like he said, he required our validation before. As in now, he doesn't care what we think of it anymore. It's more like if he likes it, he enjoys it. That's what he cares about. Definitely. And that's what makes the difference. And that actually makes a difference in his music too, I've noticed.
Definitely.
And when I create music, it flows easier. Like all of my originals online, like the way I've done them is just I've allowed them to flow in. Like when you go into that thinking stage and you get in revved up and this and that, that's where you don't start creating. You just gotta kind of allow it. So I do kind of connect with pretty much the guitar. I connect with. It's pretty much like consciousness. I connect with the consciousness of all the molecules that are around that desire to contribute to you in that situation.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? The money thing that we started with, my hand started itching. The receiving hand has started itching. Thank you.
Don't use that tools then. Don't use them.
Like it. All right. Next question. We're going to have to wrap up in a minute, but when you say that return to sender, it's almost like handballing it back. Pardon me for saying, but much like dodgeball.
Well, not really. It's when you say return it to sender, and then you add that consciousness attached. When you say with consciousness attached, what it does is it returns to where it came from, but then it doesn't go back again. They kind of have to ask the question in them to allow that to clear. So when you say it with consciousness attached, that kind of brings it back to wherever it went, and then they have to kind of resolve it. They can't send it back like this. So now that kind of stops that, you know.
Yeah.
But by you not saying that tool, it's doing that anyway. By you not saying return to sender, it's doing that anyway. So by you saying that, it's not going to make it worse. It's going to make it. It's actually going to contribute to a lot other. Like by you saying it, it's going to contribute to other people as well.
Because then they can actually choose to change their life as well by you doing that, rather than kind of like chucking their rubbish out on someone else. If someone's chucking the rubbish back, then they're going to be like, oh, what am I going to do? Am I going to keep this rubbish in my house or on me? Am I going to carry it, or am I going to actually throw it in the bin and dispose of it completely? So it actually doesn't contribute more. To
gives them choice.
Yeah.
Yes, it puts the ball back in their court to actually deal with their own stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is where it needs to be. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. That has actually been a really interesting session. I got 2 pages out of it.
Awesome. How's getting better?
I like learning. I'm a person. Oh gosh. Oh, there you go. She gets it. Yes.
2 thumbs up.
Yes.
4 thumbs
yes,
up.
that's right. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you have enjoyed this evening and you want some more, if you want to work with Bianca and Jake, go over to Access Phenomenance, go check out guitarofconsciousness.com or YouTube or wherever. They got places for you to check out. And have a real big think about booking in for Saturday, because that's a really amazing thing that Bianca's doing for
3 sessions this Saturday.
I usually do them once a year too, so it's not often that I offer 3 1-hour sessions.
Yes. Good job, Vicky. I think that will be amazing. Jodie says she'll check it out for more. Checking it out more. So, yes, that's amazing. Guys, tomorrow night I have Terry Fairburn, the above average medium. I will also be live in the morning sometime between 9 and 9:30. It depends on the little guy, because kids, right? And I'll be live until probably about 10, give or take, depending on the situation. It is what it is. It's going to be whatever flies Friday.
What else is possible for Friday?
Sorry?
What else is possible for Friday?
Oh, exactly. It's going to be amazing. I think every day is amazing at the moment, so that's cool. Right. Thank you so much for being here. I loved having you here.
You're welcome.
And thanks to everyone who's been a part of it. We will see you all later. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.